All right, so Felicia.
Yes.
You got some issues with your nails.
I do.
Dr. Mary, what's going on? How can she eat better or live better or think better?
Well, we're gonna make some chicken feet broth to strengthen her nails. Because a little collagen is maybe a little bit weaker.
What else is it good for? Is it just for nails?
Oh my! It's so great for your joints. Chicken feet. The collagen is rich there. It's also in like pig feet and beef feet, but we're gonna do chicken feet, and because I like the taste better actually. And a true story, I had 6 knee surgeries and I had all my meniscus taken out. And so every time I walked, it would just swell up my knees. The impact just hurt so bad. And I tried to play tennis on hard court and I would have to recover for a few days. So I'm at a farmer's market and this guy is buying, I always watch what people are buying because I'm like, what's that? So he's buying all these chicken feet and I'm like, why do you buy that? Why are you getting that chicken feet? And he goes, I'm buying it for my dog has arthritis. And he was a little bit older. And I'm like thinking, does he have arthritis? Is he buying it for himself too? And why are these feet only for dogs? And like, why can't they be for humans? So then I started getting intrigued on it, researching, asking the farmer, the chicken farmer and things. And so I started doing it. The first time I did it, I'm not even kidding. It might sound exaggerated, but it's not. It felt like clouds were going in my knee because I had nothing there. And so I've been doing it over and over for a long time. And I can like bounce, jump. Like it feels like it's brand new and I will not get anything done to see otherwise because I'm so thankful for it. So I love to make it for people and I like to promote it because it's just good. And of course your nails too, that look really pretty, but it'll help strengthen those too. And your joints. I don't know if you have joint pain or we just break down. We jump, we do things. Yeah. And so I know your first thought is I'm not grown up enough to work with these things.
I'm not.
Yeah. Because the first time I did it.
I'm not.
But you're an omnivore, is that correct? You eat meat and vegetables and fruits and things like that. So this is part of the animal and we have to respect that. And I think sometimes it gets wasted and it's so rich in nutrients. And I know it's not pretty to look at, but it's an important part of being a responsible omnivore. So thank you, chicken, for your lives, all you chickens. I don't know how many chickens were there. It's like a maybe
chicken party. They had a good life.
They had a good life, and they offered up their feet for you.
There's like nails.
Do you want to pick one up?
No, I'm not. No.
And when I made this, I cut the nails off.
Yeah, you don't need to cut the nails off because what you want to do is you want to cook it down enough where it just makes into also a bone broth, and so you mash it down and then you strain it.
So if I were to go to the grocery store, and I see bone broth on the shelf.
Yeah.
That what it's made from?
No, this chicken feet's going to be different than bone broth.
Okay.
And I honestly, if you buy bone broth on the shelf, I don't know how long they cooked it to consider it bone broth. To me, when you can mash the bone, so you get the marrow out of the bone and then you strain it, the richness is so important there. So
is that what you have to get for this to really?
Yeah, that's a great question. Because we're going for the collagen, that could be like 20 minutes cooking in a pan. And the collagen will come out. So then if you cook it like a broth, then you're gonna have like a firm, like a gelatin. But if you want to go further, which I do for the bone benefit of it, then you wanna cook it down further so you can mash the bones out and then you would strain it. Another great thing to do is you add whatever you want to the broth to give it flavor. And so a lot of times you're just gonna mash it and strain it. So don't use like maybe your best vegetables, but like, you have some that are wilting that you probably would forget about and then throw out. You can add like, they're just a little bit, bend there a little bit. You can add these and you still won't get the benefit of the carrot and the celery. And celery is great for a liver detox. So we'll add extra celery today. And just honestly, so what's nice about it, you don't even have to like cut this down, the garlic. You don't have to pull it and mash it. Just throw it in there because you're going to end up mashing it at the end. And then, there's some turmeric and ginger, which are amazing anti-inflammatories. So you could just throw those.
They look like the same exact thing.
They're a little wilted. Okay, so here's the difference. So the turmeric is going to be orange.
Okay.
And they come from the same family. And then you have the ginger. Oh, doesn't that sound kind of good? And so this is going to have like the spice, and this is like curcumin. Okay. So this is what people do when they do turmeric powder. But see how it has the freshness? You heard it when I opened it. So you're going to get all the riches of that before it dries out. So that's kind of exciting. And I want to use this much in your chicken feet, maybe like this much, and then maybe like that much. But so what we're gonna do is first, I like to saute the chicken feet first. Strained the water because we want to just rinse them off. You don't need to scrub them. You don't need to take the nails off of them. Actually, I find that the nails are gonna have more of what you need. You know, you're looking for your nails to get stronger. So
will this help my elbow? We were talking about earlier today how my elbow feels achy all the time.
is it the tendon or is it the joint? I mean, it helps with tendons and joints. So is it like right in here?
No, right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna help like build the cells up, give more collagen to the cells. We're gonna add some things to it. So it is a healer. It's a blood mover and a healer. And so I feel like there's probably maybe some other things we can work on to strengthen it because maybe it's something you're doing at work or at play. So this is definitely in the right direction.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like it's kind of getting a little bit warm there. So it might snap if it's not completely dry, but don't get worried. The feet will not jump up at you.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna stand
So
right here.
yeah.
So every other recipe I saw, they specify you should chop the nails off. But I hear there's more collagen in the nails.
Yeah, and you're gonna mash it. I'm not sure the videos that you watched. Did they say a reason why they cut the nails off?
Probably they just look gross.
Probably, yeah. They're clean. You can see the chicken's been cleaned before it came. We washed them, we strained them, and yeah, I'm pretty sure in some countries they just chew right on those nails.
Oh boy!
But and actually, let's be real. I have tried to do it. I have tried to.
What?
Yeah, I have tried to eat chicken feet, and it's a little too rubbery and chewy. Like I couldn't get anything out of it, so I'm not really sure.
How did you cook them?
I sauteed it. It was when I didn't boil them. I sauteed it. I think I might have air fried them then. I might have done a few things just to try to think how to cook them right, and then I just tried to chew on them and get all the nutrients out of them that way. But that wasn't the best choice for me. So
Kiss.
I look forward to a chef presenting a way I can eat those sauteed up like that. But they just what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna put some salt with it. So we have some salts. You guys have some sea salt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So you had some options of salts, right? So never do a white salt because all the minerals are missing that salt that you need on your body. There's 80 minerals in sea salt. So you can do a white salt, there's nothing there. It's all been stripped out. Or if it's a fortified something, of iodine, and who knows if that's even gonna help you. Because we're chemistry. I'm gonna use this one because it's so nice. And where's this sea salt from?
that jar over there.
Okay. Okay. We'll go a little further investigating. This is from, it's called a Mason. Does it say, from England. From one of the shores of England.
Lovely.
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 Lovely. So, sea salt you can get from all over. That was the point of bringing this over. This is from, where's that from?
I think it's from Iceland.
Yeah, this is
Iceland?
Iceland.
Yeah. So, and they all taste different. This is from Japan. And this one is from Kirkland's. Okay, that's from Costco. But they're going to have a different flavor, which is really fascinating to me. But it makes sense because the oceans are going to be different. They're going to have different nutrients in the water and stuff in different areas, which is kind of cool. So we can hear this is working well. I'm going to just saute this up. And this salt obviously brings out the flavor. And then, so we talked about this, right? So we're going to just add... Yeah, they're washed. They just look ugly, but the skins in many medicinal things are...
Wait, you're not going to peel it.
Not this part.
You're not going to peel the onion.
Well,
you're going to
first
put
of all,
it in there.
this might be a little dirty, so I'm just going to take that part off because someone...
But you're going to put the onion skin in there?
Yeah, the skin is so good for you. It's so I'm just going to... I don't know who the washing committee was, but I'm not judging. I'm just going to... do this really quick when no one's looking, right? Like this, and then like that. There we go. So, and then...
Whoa.
And then we'll just add
With the skin.
Because we're going to cook it down, and then we're going to mash it. So all the nutrients, and you could cut this. I don't know if you have a cutting board or knife, but I think this is
We do. We are fairly civilized, but you just do you, okay?
Because when it starts breaking down, you're just mashing it anyways. Because you're going to cook it. We're going to cook it down to the bones.
Oh, that's interesting.
In this piece, right? I'm gonna throw keep it moving, and I'm gonna throw a thing of garlic in there with the skin and everything.
Whoa, what? Garlic with the skin?
Yeah. And then you're just gonna mash it down and then strain it. So let's throw some ginger and turmeric. And we're not gonna boil this because boiling kind of can break down the nutrients. So you just want to kind of simmer it. You don't want to get too aggressive. And it does cook for a long time. I'm not going to throw the tomato in right now because I don't want to do a long-term tomato. I think tomatoes aren't meant to be cooked at a boil in a long time. So yeah, this does not look amazing.
This is like how cavemen used to cook.
Right. They didn't have, sure. I mean, it's a really nice kitchen.
Throw it all in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I saw this on a cartoon once.
Did you? What cartoon was
I know
that?
it was a Flintstones or something.
No, I probably wasn't a Flintstone. They rode chickens around, didn't they, in Flintstones?
Probably.
So I just want to get it sauteed a little bit, get some of the flavor and the richness, and then we'll add the water and we'll just sit here with the lid on it. So that's what we're going to do right here.
That smells so good.
Yeah, it's so good. The first time I did this, I really didn't know if I could handle seeing feet in a pot. Then you grow up, you're an omnivore, so. No, not yet. Not yet. Oh my gosh, it smells good. We're just gonna saute a little bit longer, then we'll add the water.
So you use filtered water, not your tap water.
Absolutely, filtered water. Right,
Tell me
and
what?
then just go slowly, just so it doesn't snap, and don't go so high, just a little lower like this, because it's gonna just saturate it all up. We're making a broth, so. And when you find, the dog agrees. So when you get your chicken feet, make sure they come from a responsible farm that took care of the chicken. The chickens roamed, they eat bugs, they eat everything in the soil, and they're healthy and they're strong, the feet. And so chickens, when they're in a stressed environment, just like us, we put our hormones into our body. So the feet would be full of hormones and stress. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to eat, that's not going to have a lot of nutritional value. So you want to make sure the feet come from a good source, right? So this is great. It looks good. It smells so good. Mm-hmm. And Felicia, if you have the lid, we'll put the lid on it. And this will it'll cook, and you just keep, oh my gosh, it's going to cook for a while.
So you have exact measurements for any of this stuff?
That's a great question.
I don't use exact measurements for anything.
That's a great answer too. I don't either. And you
How
just
much water? Just enough water to cover it?
I just covered it, but you might want to add more. But I like a thick. I'm looking for the thick collagen, like a bouillon, where it's I don't want to store a bunch of broth. I want to store really intense little bits of it. So sometimes you can put it in ice cube trays. You can put I put it. You can use glass Tupperware, glass. Tupperware was great marketing because we still say Tupperware even when it's just containers, recycle, to reuse.
Glass containers.
Glass containers. You can freeze them. I would do the 1 cups. I would freeze them, and you can also, when it's cool, put them in if you want to a plastic bag, like a gallon-sized bag, and then you can put them in the freezer, lay them flat, and you can just break up as you want because you're using it as medicine. You're not using it in.
So you use ice cube trays.
Yes, in ice cube trays. Get the silicone ones. Yeah, the silicone ones, because I don't like the plastic ones. Going to be the best at leaching out into your your made broth here.
So how long do you cook this for?
See, I would cook this all night long.
Okay.
You can also do this in. I think we did our first batch. We did it in the.
We did in the Instapot.
Yeah, Instapot. So, and let's take a look at what that looks like so we can get an idea. Right, well that looks great. Ooh. So it's been in the refrigerator a little bit. Let's take a spoon and see what we got here. So
looks like Jell-O.
Yeah, and so you honestly could cook this down more and make it thicker if you wanted to, because the thicker it is, the less you have to have and the more intense the flavor is.
So you don't have to have a bowl of this stuff. It's just a.
Right. I used to in the beginning make a big thing of it, and it was kind of watery and I have to drink more of it. So this way, if you're doing it for medicine, you would take a bit, put it in a coffee mug, warm it up in the morning, and just drink it. I usually put a little amino liquids, which is like a soy sauce, but it's done the right way. Mm-hmm. And so And it just adds that little bit of flavor that you need. You can put some nutritional yeast in it in the morning. You don't want to cook nutritional yeast, but if you put this in the mug, add a little at the end and just swig it down, you're going to get your good probacterias, and you're going to get all your nutrients for the day. So you guys did a great job making that in the Instapot.
So you can't eat too much of this stuff, right? If you had a bowl of it, or
Well, you can eat too much of anything, so that's kind of a leading question. But I would honestly, at this consistency, I would probably do like 2 spoons of this, especially if I want to heal. I'd do 2 spoons of this. Way it's the gelatinous of this is it's not as strong as just like cutting through it. So I would do like 2 spoonfuls of this into a cup of, like just a little coffee mug. Put it. I hate microwaving, but just 30 seconds maybe, because that might not taste good cold and gelatinous. So, but if you make it thicker, but it's medicine, so you're gonna feel you want more, or you had enough of it. So you can do it twice a day, 3 times a day. It's gonna have a lot of nutrients with it. So when this is done and it mashes, everything mashes down, then you want to strain it. You'll get just a fine mesh strainer. You strain it, and then you have this great broth in there, full of collagen, full of nutrients, antioxidants. It's going to be amazing.
So we let this cook about 8 hours overnight. And the next morning we came out and we used our meat masher just to mash it down to make sure that everything was just crushed and a couple of those things were still intact. So we crushed them down a little bit, boiled it a little bit longer to make sure all the collagen escaped out of the bones, and went into the broth. Mashed the carrots down and everything we could too. Just kind of made a big mess, and that's exactly what we wanted to do. Took it another half hour or so and then dumped out all the mashed stuff into a strainer. We did use cheesecloth too to make sure we took out all the little pieces and particles. We want just a nice clean broth, which is then going to gel up. But look how thick that is. Great consistency. What's interesting is this one came out a lot lighter than the other one from cooking on the stove all night, which is really strange. So a nice yellowy, kind of heavy, very, very thick broth. And then we refrigerated it for several hours, and you can see it's got a serious gelatin consistency, and that's exactly what you want here. So that looks really good. We'll scrape some of the fat off the top. Now here's what happened when we did our Instant Pot. Kind of a similar thing, except it took a lot less time. You can do the whole thing in about 90 minutes plus some reduction.